What's up, everybody? Coach Jesse back with another video, and the first pay-per-view of the year is done. I'm so happy. I hate waiting, man. 4 weeks without no fights, going through withdrawals and stuff. But UFC 311 was supposed to be um, Islam versus Armin. There was a bit of a switch and change in there. The overall card started kind of slow, and then started picking up towards the end. There was some great fights in there. Um, there was, if you guys were not aware, there was about four undefeated fighters. That was Clayton Carpenter, Peyton Talbot, and Nakamura. And the biggest one was Umar Nurmagomedov. Let's see. And unfortunately, all those guys that were undefeated, they lost their O's. So we'll start with the first one, Clayton Carpenter. He fought Tahir. I'm not sure how to pronounce his name, but it was it was it was not a, it was a good fight. It was a good, really good fight. Carpenter came out really strong, real good stand up, in and out, real good ring awareness, and he was able to close the distance and exit out without getting hit a lot. So he was getting on Tayer, I believe his name is, during the first round. Then Tayer started using his wrestling, started wearing down Clayton, but they were still going back and forth. There was a dog fight. Um, Clayton just got controlled more, the wrestling, and his opponent ended up coming out with the win. That was Clayton's, I believe, first fight in the UFC. So he was 7-0. Now he's 7-1. That was the first one. I was pretty impressed with Clayton. He looked really good. He looked really good. Looked like he didn't have those, those first time UFC jitters that a lot of people have. Let's talk about that one. Let's go with Peyton. So this gentleman right here, Peyton, he was undefeated. He was coming out of a few knockouts. Very very strong. Very strong young man. Strong hit punches. You know what I mean? Real clean striking. Real clean striking, and he's always real calm in situations. But this fight, he was favored. He was favored against Barcelos. Barcelos is a seasoned fighter. You know what I mean? He's not the best. He's not a top tier fighter, but he's good for what he is. You know what I mean? They were put him in there thinking. I don't know if they were thinking, but a lot of people were thinking that Peyton was gonna run through Barcelos because he's older. Um, he's an older seasoned fighter, but that was just not the picture for that fight. Barcelos came in, took down Peyton right away, and just grinded him, and grinded him, and grinded him. He Peyton had no answers for Barcelos' ground game and his jiu-jitsu, but give it to Peyton. He did stay real calm and was able to get out of some situations, stand back up. Uh, Second round, almost the same thing. Peyton got up, thrown some punches. Barcelos started getting tired towards the third round, and so did Peyton. But Peyton, because of his uh, being calm and not panicking in situations, he was able to keep his cardio, his heart rate and everything down, which is real important. That you don't panic in situations like Barcelo put him in. But the third round came, and it looked like Peyton might have had the situation under control and was coming with hard punches, and looked like Peyton was almost going to be able to take Barcelos out, but nope. Barcelos took him down and finished the round on top again. So it was a learning situation for Peyton. He's not. I don't think he's out of it, and I don't think that he was overhyped. You know what I mean? Because he was putting people out. Um, and I think it's better for him to lose now at a young age and early in his career than later on when he's in the top 10 or top 5, or what I mean, on a run to a title shot, and that'll put him back down. This way, he knows what he needs to work on. He got exposed with Parcells, you know what I mean, and now he can go back to the drawing board and start working on what he was lacking in this fight. You know what I mean? But for Peyton, he put up a good fight, and Barcel's good for him. I don't see Barcel's doing any title runs or anything. I mean, he's probably be the gatekeeper. You know what I mean? So, but good for both of those gentlemen. The next one was Nakamura. Where'd you go, buddy? Nakamura. Okay, so Nakamura Nakamura was favored in this one. Um, he came in as, I believe, as a favor in this fight. He was coming in undefeated, so obviously, what I mean, he was going to be favored. But Nakamura is strong. He's a strong fighter. He fought Gafurov, um, and Gafurov came in hard. He came in throwing mean overhand Chuck Liddell punches. He stood his ground. He was actually go pushing Nakamura backwards. I thought Nakamura was gonna be able to pressure a lot more in this fight, but he didn't. Gaff, Gafurov, he didn't take a step backwards, and he threw hard. He was throwing some hard punches. Um, yeah, Nakamura looked off. Not to take anything away from Gafurov, but Nakamura looked like he just couldn't get into the fight. He couldn't. He couldn't close the distance. He was real short of punches. Um, a lot of those punches, that you throw and you miss, that just takes your cardio down. You want to land. But yeah, shout out to Gafurov. He put on a show. It was a decent fight. You know what I mean? It was a back and forth kind of, but Gafurov more takedowns. He was able to control Nakamura more and land more strikes than Nakamura. But yeah, it was a good fight, and Nakamura was, let me see, he was 8-0. Oh, he's 8-1. You know what I mean? So, and the biggest upset of them all was the co-main event. Umar and Magomedov. Umar was favored coming into this fight, which I think that was kind of really disrespectful to the champ Marab, um, because Marab has fought higher elite top fighters than Umar has. You know what I mean? And Marab has fought more guys that were in the top than Umar has, and I don't see how they would do Umar as a favorite. But Umar only had one fight with a top 10 guy, and he really is a dominant fighter, and he has the last name Nurmagomedov, which I believe had to play a lot of a big part in him being favored. But he is a good fighter. He's a good fighter, one of the best in that division. Um, but saying that, Marab put a clinic on Umar. Umar, I believe, won the first 2 rounds, and then after that, Marab just turned up the fucking heat on him, man, and taking him down, jacking him in and out. Um, Usually, Marab wild punches, and then he uses those punches to get in. He was doing that, but at the same time, he was really countering Umar. He was, and the good thing that I saw, Marab, he was throwing a lot of body punches. So he cleaned up his striking. I can tell he cleaned up his striking a lot for this fight. And a lot of people don't know, Marab was injured coming into this fight. He had a big gash on his calf. He was, I guess, doing the steppers or whatever, the stairs, and he got a big old gash and cut on his shin. He had to go to the hospital, and they stitched it up from the inside out. And then he hurt his back training too, and the cut barely healed up. He said the week of the fight, you know what I mean? But he didn't pull out. He didn't pull out because it was very very important to him. Yeah, he just outshined Umar. You know what I mean? Humbled Umar a little bit. You know what I mean? Bring him back down to earth. And Rob always said that Umar was not on his level, and Umar didn't deserve title shot. Now, if you ask me, Umar didn't deserve the title shot, but given the situation, um, there was nobody else in this division that was up to par or up there that would be able to give Marab a challenge. You know what I mean? So I guess this was a situational thing. There was nobody else, so they gave it to Umar, which is fine. Which is fine. You know what I mean? But yeah, Marab the Beast. He broke GSP's record for the most takedowns in this fight, man, and he was just clowning on Umar, you know what I mean? But yeah, he humbled Umar. He humbled him. Umar will be back. I'm pretty sure that Umar and Marab will rematch down the line. I think Umar needs another fight or two, and then rematch Marab. So everyone was wondering what would be next for Marab, um, and probably the best choice would be O'Malley. You know what I mean? O'Malley lost to Marab big time. Marab just, you know what I mean, outshined O'Malley. Now, this is the problem. If O'Malley gets the rematch, excuse me, and he loses, he's going to be in limbo. You know what I mean? He's going to be in limbo. He's going to be 2, 3, 4 more fights for him to get back at Marab at the belt, and he's just gonna the division's just gonna be all mixed up. You know what I mean? So it's something that O'Malley has to think about. Do I want the rematch? I mean the next title shot, or do I wait? You know what I mean? His best bet would be somebody take the belt from Marab, and he'll have a better chance. You know what I mean? Not saying that O'Malley can't beat Marab, but there's no way. I mean, O'Malley he got off of social media, started taking his training to another level, and he's lacking in the wrestling. Um, at this point, he's not going to be able to catch up to Marab. You know what I mean? There's no way he's going to jump levels of his wrestling to match Marab wrestling skills. So I see the fight ending the same, and leaving O'Malley in this weird position. You know what I mean? So you kind of like Yuri. You know what I mean? Yuri lost 2 times to Alex, and in his last fight, like, he was really really hesitant to call Alex out. They were like, "What do you want next?" And he's like, "Fuck, I want Alex." You know what I mean? But he's in that weird state. You already lost 2 times. So do they give you the next title shot if Alex beats Nagomedov? I'm not sure. You know what I mean? So I'm excited to see what's next for Marab. But that was the co-main event. So Marab definitely outshined himself in this this event. Yeah. So next one, talk about Yuri and Jamal. This was a dog's fight, man. Jamal has a chin on him. Or does he have a chin? Or does that just tell you how hard Alex hits? You know what I mean? Because Yuri was dinking him left and right, and Jamal was taking him. This was a back and forth fight. Yuri looked better. Yuri looked a lot better. He said he was going to keep his hands up, kept them up for a little bit, but then reverted back to his old self. You know what I mean? But I will say, I saw a lot of head movement, more head movement than last. You know what I mean? And side to side, in and out. Um, and right away, the first few exchanges, I saw Yuri going for that pull. He was trying to slip and counter in Jamal. Whole night I was watching that. He ended up catching him with it. Back and forth fight, back and forth fight. I had it 1-1 going into the third, and Yuri just ended up putting his lights out. You know what I mean? Took him out. That's two devastating knockouts for Hill. So, but Hill's not out of it. You know what I mean? Hill's not out of it. I want to see what's next for Hill, and I don't know if they give Yuri the title shot next. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know. I want to see what they do with him. You know, like I said, he lost 2 times to Alex, and he's kind of in that weird stage right now. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Oh, and then Yuri had this girl from where he's from. She had cancer. She had her head shaved, and then Yuri ended up shaving his head. He ended up flying her out with somebody else, donating $50,000 or $50,000 from his purse to her or to an organization, and Dana White ended up matching it. So the girl ended up getting $100,000 for cancer. So hopefully she does, you know what I mean, recover and beats it. But good for Yuri, man. The main event, the main event. So for you guys that don't know and been under a rock, this main event was supposed to be Islam versus Armin Sarukian. Armin end up having back pains, nerve pains in his back the day before and the day of weigh-in. A lot of people are saying, "Oh, he just got scared or he couldn't make the weight." I mean, this man has many fights and never lost, never came underweight, never missed weight, and he's never not fought. You know what I mean? He fought Islam his first fight into the UFC on a short notice. Why would he be scared of this man? You know what I mean? So he came on Arrow Hawani and he explained what happened. He just couldn't move. His back was seized up. You know what I mean? He's doing a lot better. He's doing a lot better. So he was out. You know what I mean? He was out, and the next person they called was Moicano, Money. Money was scheduled to fight Benny. Um, so the reason they didn't give Benny the shot because Benny's coming off of, I believe, 2 losses, and Renat Moicano's coming off wins. You know what I mean? And he's been speaking and getting a lot of followers and been on you know what I mean, social media and building his following. So that was a smart move for them to do. Unfortunately, Moicano lost the first round, Darce choke. Um, I believe if Moicano had more time to train for Islam, he wouldn't have got caught in that. You know what I mean? Because the first few exchanges he was getting on Islam, and Islam shot, took him down. So I think Renat Moicano just wasn't prepared for Islam. Caught up in the moment, you know what I mean? But good for him. He'll be back. A few more fights, and I see him back up there at the top. So yeah, that was the main event. You know what I mean? So there was some good fights on here. There were some really good fights. Renee the Ritter end up submitting Kevin Holland. Kevin Holland always talking smack. The Ritter just came in, took him down, and manhandled him. You know what I mean? So yeah, there was plenty of good fights on this card. I'm pretty happy. You know what I mean? I'm just happy to have the UFC back because man, those waiting for the UFC, I don't even know what to do with myself. But yeah, what's your guys' takeaway and thoughts on the card? Were you guys impressed with it? Oh, how about that arena that they fought in? Man, that thing was super cool. The TV screens and then the mist and the smoke. That thing was like a mini dome. You know what I mean? So I think all the other arenas are gonna have to step up their game. That thing was super cool. But overall, I'm very happy. I was going through withdrawals, you know what I mean. UFC's back, 311 in the books. I believe the next one is, if I'm not mistaken, Sean Strickland and DDP, I believe. So yeah, I'm I'm very excited, happy for the UFC to be back. What's your thoughts on this card, man? Uh, yeah, let me know in the comment section. Uh, Man, I'm excited. I'm excited. There was some good fights, but yeah, Coach Jesse, I'm out.